hanging in.
Good. Thanks for getting the message out.
What'd you say?
Thanks for sorry. Thanks for getting that message out around all those happenings that we needed to make sure our allies were aware of.
Yeah, I didn't get them out quite as I was away. So, but when I get home, I can't do it when I'm away, but when I get home, I try to do it.
No, that's good.
I have so many allies. I have several allies that are not current that bounce back. It kills me.
Oh.
Every time I do it, I have to remember how to get rid of them. But I'll do.
So let's see. So for hour 3, I see Emma's joining us now. I know Craig and Jen will not be able to join us. Beth is going to join, but she's going to dial in. Picking up her new puppy today.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to text Kristen. Oh, here she is. And I'm assuming Michelle's going to be able to join us as well. So let me just give it a few minutes. Hi, Emma. Hi, Kristen. Oh, there's Beth.
Yeah. How many do you need for a quorum?
I think we need at least 5. I think we should be good to go. I don't know why she's listed as, can't seem to get Beth on. Why is that? Can't promote her. Okay, well, as I try and figure that out, I'm going to start off with the remote meeting procedures, and we'll go and get that. Oh, that's it. Oh, there she is. Okay, perfect. So in keeping with an act, oh goodness, in keeping with an act relative to extending certain state of emergency accommodations, this meeting will be conducted remotely over Zoom. Attendance by committee members will be remote, and remote attendance shall count towards quorum. The meeting will broadcast and live and be recorded on ECAT. To use Zoom, you need to use the link on the agenda and download the Zoom application. While conducting meetings remotely, we'll endeavor to keep meeting operations as close to standard procedures as possible. However, use of the platform will necessitate some additional meeting protocols. While the board, committee members, and applicants will be on video and audio, public participants will join the webinar as attendees, meaning they're muted with no live video feed from them. During the public portion of the meeting, members of the public can be recognized by using their raise hand function found under participants from Zoom, or make a request through the Q&A function. If you're joining only by phone, and you can press *9 to raise your hand. And if you wish to display materials, just make sure that you request that of the chair and email materials to the committee staff for sharing on screen. When starting testimony, please state your name and address for the record. As in any public meeting, indecent behavior will not be tolerated, and anyone who abuses use of the meeting platform will be terminated from the meeting. Business will be handled in the order of the agenda, and any business not concluded in the allotted time will be tabled to the end of the meeting to allow for timely logins and remote attendance. Committee members are asked to announce themselves when making a motion and second, so that it'll be clear to the audience and minute takers who made motions. All votes will be by roll call. And when business indicated on the agenda has been completed, members will vote to adjourn the meeting, signaling the end of the meeting and the termination of the ECAT. All participants will be disconnected from the webinar at that time. Okay, let's see who has joined us. We have Beth. We also have Kelly on for minutes, so I think we are good to go. I don't see Michelle, and we didn't expect Craig or Jen, so I think we're good. Okay, so the first item on the agenda is our meeting minutes, and thankfully Michelle took those and distributed them on October 2nd. Does anybody have any updates to those meeting minutes? Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Gershman.
Second, Foster.
Thank you. Can we go ahead and vote to approve the minutes? Is that Chania? Wow, am I first?
You are.
Yeah, nice. Hey, Devonshire, are you over there? Can you vote to approve the
Devonshire,
minutes?
yes. Devonshire,
Thank you.
yes.
Foster, yes.
Gershman, yes.
Gershman, yes.
Hey, yes.
Oh, we end with an H. Look at us. Okay, perfect. Thank you. We can go ahead and approve the minutes. Oh, Michelle is joining us. I'm just going to add her as a panelist. She should be joining us any second. Okay. Hi, Michelle.
Hello, everyone.
All right, you didn't miss much. We just went through the remote meeting procedures and we reviewed and approved the minutes that you sent out. So thank you for doing that for us. Can you work with Kelly to get them posted? Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to move on. The next item on the agenda is membership update. We do currently have 2 openings for HRC members. We, just as a reminder for those interested, we are looking for Easton citizens at large with an interest in human rights and a willingness to help lead projects, participate in events, as well as bring forward topics and initiatives to help educate the town on various human rights topics. It sounds like we might have some applicants that have come through. Craig said that he would take a look at those and share them with us. In the meantime, if you know other folks and have interest in joining the committee, please go ahead and submit your application via the town website. Anything else on membership? I saw that Kathy, she put out a notice to our allies. Do you want to share that with the group, Kathy?
Yeah. Well, I think you guys are all on my ally list. So I did send that out yesterday. And I think I told you there is a gentleman that I play pickleball with who says he's interested and he was going to apply. So hopefully he did.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. So that is our membership update. For those of you who have ethics and compliance training due, please make sure you get that done. I know that there was a bunch of us that I think were in this last wave, including myself, that needs to make sure we get that done within the time frame. Otherwise, I think we're good to go there. Okay, events. I thought maybe we would go ahead and recast the NRT Harvest Fair. Emma, do you want to give an update on that one since you were such a huge part of it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's for not having a lot prepared and not everyone was able to go. I think it turned out well. We were able to do a tree craft where kids made leaves and it made a bigger tree, which was cute. And we did some tie-dye. So I wasn't able to stay the full time, so I don't know the total amount we made, but there was 5 or 6 shirts I'm pretty sure I made, so that was good too.
We got $160.
Nice.
And I tie-dyed a t-shirt.
Oh, yeah. You left and she had to do it.
I missed it.
It was
Kathy and
cute.
I looked at each other like, okay, we can do this.
Kathy,
But I
did we
hope
get
that
many, did we get any new allies?
We got like 6 or 7.
There's a
you know,
couple.
A few.
So I think what we talked about is that we would like to replenish our t-shirt supply. Emma, it looks like we were really low on kids sizes, right? And smaller
Yeah,
sizes.
kid sizes and adult smalls too, because a lot of the kids that wanted tie-dye, when there was no kid sizes, they just took the adult smalls. Maybe some medium. Those were the most common sizes that people ordered. So
Yeah, there were people who
Okay.
carried little kids and they didn't do it because there were no sizes for them. So yeah, definitely.
Okay. I think it was Liz, right, who ordered for us last time around. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. I will follow up with Liz and see if she can send me the contact. Actually, I think I did follow up with her. So we'll get those ordered. So I do think maybe we want to go ahead and order another 20 t-shirts. Does that sound about right? Do we think that that should be enough to hold us over for a little bit? 20
Yeah.
in size, kid sizes and small.
Yeah, I
Okay.
would see what the cutoff is too. I think the more you buy, the cheaper it gets. So if like you could get 25 and it went down, then it's probably worth it. But yeah. Sorry, I'm
Okay, so I will go ahead and I think I just need the committee to approve us ordering anywhere between, let's say, 25 to 35 t-shirts in smaller sizes to replenish our supply for upcoming events. Do I have anybody have any concerns?
So moved.
Okay. Do I approve? Thank
Second,
you.
Durance.
And yes.
Oh, Foster, yes.
Durance, yes.
Devonshire, yes.
Gershman, yes.
Gershman, yes.
Hey, yes.
All right, so we have an approval to go ahead and order between 25 to 35 t-shirts with our HRC budget to replenish our t-shirt supply. Thank you. Okay, holiday event planning. And I know that Jen wasn't able to join us today, but she had mentioned in a previous meeting that she definitely is musically inclined and wanted to try to see if we could do something to incorporate music into our next upcoming events. And we think that there might be an opportunity for that for the holiday planning that we usually participate in. And I know the Lions Club tends to have an activity, maybe it's a 2-day activity this year. Michelle, do you want to maybe give an update on what you know about that?
I
so
actually
far?
was not able to make the meeting this week. And I know
Okay.
that Craig was going to reach out directly to John to find out where he might be able to fit us in. And I haven't heard back from that.
Okay, all right, we can follow back up on that when we connect with Craig, or if you can maybe touch base as well. So what we're thinking was maybe some sort of holiday sing-along. So an opportunity to bring in music from different cultures and religious affiliates and be able to just offer the opportunity to have sheets of music and bring music to the festival. We also thought it might be fun to try to incorporate other kind of key stakeholders around town, whether it's the schools, whether it's at the high school, Tempo, maybe seeing if other interested parties would like to join us in that kind of sing along piece of it. I don't know, any thoughts around that?
I think that sounds great. I would just make sure Jen is available.
Yes.
She's got this and she can lead the group. And I don't. So
Okay, yeah, she definitely was interested, and I had a preferred date of the 2 dates, so I think we'll just need to make sure that that kind of coincides with what the Lions Club has planned. So I thought that in lieu of parade marching, we would do the holiday sing-along instead. Anybody have concerns with that?
I don't see why we couldn't march as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Why not both?
Then I
March-
think we might need to divide and conquer. I guess maybe it'll be the timing that I'm not really sure how it works, but
It doesn't seem like anything happens until we march. And then we get there and then, I mean, I guess we'll have to find out
The
what the,
parade is on Sunday at noon, so you said you wanted to do something both days?
no, I think I guess that's another part of this too. So I think the committee probably needs to figure out what level of commitment they can provide, because I think what we're thinking is 1 day of something. But
So-
if people are really compelled to do 2 days, by all means, let's
I'll be
discuss.
at the parade anyway, because Lindsay's marching and probably soccer will too. So I'm committed to being there if anyone else wants to hold up a banner and throw some candy with me.
I'm pretty sure soccer's not having something, but obviously I'll be there too. So
Okay.
so I guess part of the question is when we could do our sing-along. Because if it's the same day, that would make it easy. I guess, so we should figure that out first. But I
Okay,
can,
so we figured the earlier we plan, the better. So I thought that, this way getting it on our October agenda is good. It sounds like folks have interest in participation in one or both of the events. And we're going to need Jen to sing her little heart out for us. So we'll make sure that she's available for that.
so does somebody need, well, I guess after we figure out when it's gonna be, to reach out to maybe the high school and see if there's a group that wants to sing with us, because that might help a lot.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't, Michelle, do you still have contact with Tempo?
I do, yep. So 2 things. One is I would check as far as when you're gonna do it, I would nail that down with John sooner than later, because I believe this last meeting, they came up with a schedule of events. So
Okay.
I would do that sooner than later. I know as far as having the high school groups, it gets a little tricky because the high school groups are practicing for, and I can't speak for Jeff, practicing for their different various concerts and whatnot. I know the marching band cannot be in it this year because it just was one more thing they were gonna have to practice, and it just couldn't fit in. So I don't know, as far as the choir, the choruses commitments. But somebody could reach out to Jeff and ask him. It wouldn't really be a Tempo thing. That would be a Jeff thing, the director of music.
Okay, but he's only representing OA, right?
No, he's the director of music for the entire district. So if you,
Okay.
so are you thinking like maybe like Blanche James or RO kids singing?
Yeah, I wanted to open it up and see whoever wants to join, but I mean,
If
guess
it doesn't
depends-
need to be an official music group like the OA choir or whatnot, you could probably reach out to
That's
those
right.
principals.
Okay,
If we-
maybe that might be the,
If we got a time and a date, we could also reach out to the different churches. Maybe there's choirs across the town that want to join us.
right. Right, I guess I just don't want to limit, so maybe we'll start there. We'll pick it.
I think
we'll
you
pick the
need,
date.
before you approach a principal, you really need to know when you're doing it.
Right. Okay. We can figure that out. We'll figure out our time, our date, and where we'll be if we have a spot for that matter. And
Okay.
then there.
Oh, that sounds good.
Okay. So that would be the holiday event planning. And it sounds like in terms of next steps there, so Michelle will you be able to follow up with John, and I'll also connect with Craig, or would you prefer Craig to do that?
I'd prefer Craig to do that, please.
Okay. And I will, once we land there, then I can reach out to the principals and assess interest, and I'll go from there. Okay, perfect. The next event we were thinking about is possibly a spring education offering. So I'm not sure if people want to think about that a little bit, maybe some topics that come to mind, but thinking that it's probably time to bring forward an education opportunity for the town, just to kind of give folks a sense of what we've done in the past. We've done unconscious bias training. We've done active bystander training. We've done different kind of listening sessions, right, around various topics around discussing race and discrimination in families, and talking through with families, I should say, being able to have those discussions with kids. We've done focus around accessibility in the past. And we've done LGBTQ, gender roles and identity. I know we've done that education training that we've tried to bring to the town as well. So I think we've brought forward a variety of topics. If perhaps, just based on climate right now, we may want to consider something around anti-Semitism. I think there are other, various topics that we could bring forward, but I would like the committee to start thinking about that, just because, time just flies. Months just seem to fly by quick. So if we can solidify a topic over the next couple of months, we can then start to think about who we need to engage to go ahead and do that training for us, as well as, understanding what kind of budget and where we want to do it, if we want to do something in person, and so on and so forth. Does that sound good to committee members? Anything else you want to add there? Any other topics you think we should consider?
I think you gave the whole range of topics you probably should consider. I totally agree. We need to pick up a topic and do something in the spring. It's time to do another training. And I feel like we need to decide by next month and start to reach out to, or even before then, if people know somebody who you think might do a good job on a presentation, to reach out to them now and see if they're interested in presenting and bring it back next year.
There's a guy in Sharon. I had gone to a presentation. He does a lot with just the kind of history. I think he could touch on anti-Semitism too. So if you want, I can reach out to him. We've just got to kind of look and see what we want. It was kind of like the history of extremism and where we are today. And I found it to be really interesting.
I think that would be great.
I'm a big fan of the listening session format too. If anti-Semitism is something that we wanted to explore, perhaps that guy is one of the speakers. I know that we could probably reach out to Liza to do another training. I know she'd probably be willing to do it.
If we do something with anti-Semitism, it might be helpful to get the rabbi involved too.
Yeah.
In town.
I'm sure Craig could set up.
Yep, definitely. So maybe, Beth, you want to start with maybe reach out to the contact that you mentioned. I say maybe by our next meeting, based on what Kathy was saying, if we can try and at least land on a topic or two. I mean, I guess it sounds like there's lots of education opportunities. And if we think now that we have a little bit of a budget that maybe we could host more than one, I think that would be great to consider. Because ultimately, I mean, especially if we consider to do one virtually and maybe one in person, because virtually I think would then have very limited costs and maybe greater participation. But we can kind of assess that at the next meeting. Sound good to everyone?
Karen, I have a question real quick. Did you
Sure.
say a month that it's in, like, specifically? I know you said spring, but did you like, I know May's Mental Health Awareness Month. I don't like, I'm honestly not sure how much the HRC has done in the past in regards to mental health, but that could also be another topic.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I didn't land on any months yet. I was just kind of going season by season because that's typically how we try to plan for our events. Trying to like not overcommit the committee, but at the same time committing to doing something on a quarterly basis. That's always kind of been our balance. But yeah, I think if March might be a good opportunity to introduce something, because I feel like maybe the focus around anti-Semitism might be something on the near term that we could potentially offer sooner than later, because, especially in light of the recent events, which, we'll talk about in a few minutes. But I feel like, there is an opportunity there specifically around that topic. And then potentially, other topics later, leading more into the spring timeframe, if that just works out well.
Emma,
Any particular?
I think that's a
Go
great,
ahead.
and mental health is an issue that we haven't addressed and we should really consider.
I agree. I don't know,
Agreed.
Amy, does Liz do anything around that topic at all?
What? Say that again?
Sorry, does Liza do anything around? No. Okay.
I don't think so. I can check with her, but I don't think so.
Okay.
We also
Okay, and I
we
know that
have the director of counseling from Stonehill who lives in Easton. So depending upon what we want to do, I'm sure she would probably be willing to come and talk just about mental health in general.
Yeah, and I think that might be good, to try to hone in on maybe some specific areas of focus around mental health. Is it, handling stress? Is it anxiety, stress relief? I guess maybe thinking about resources. Is it, how to help support each other, whether or not we try to pull together additional resources throughout the town and working with the town to kind of come up with maybe bringing different people forward on various outlets. I guess we probably need to think about what we want to try to accomplish through the topic as well.
It might be
There's-
one of those things that we talk about that we can introduce that hotline. And don't we have, isn't Stephanie, she goes out on rides. So we could talk, there could be just the town resources that we could cover.
And I was also thinking that just mental health for our children and our teenagers, and maybe we could involve the counselors from the schools, because I think COVID has had a big impact on mental health for that age bracket. I mean, for all age brackets, but I think it's hitting them really hard, and maybe that gets us a different audience.
Agree. I feel like we have lots of connections there too. Lisa St. Mary would help, I'm sure, or at least point us in the right direction. I know Marcy would probably help. Yeah.
So we may want to also connect with the schools, because I know that Dr. Cabral and Chrissy Pruitt have pulled together like a curriculum focused on various topics of training as well, or education opportunities through the schools. I don't know, Michelle, is that list ready yet? Do they have that planned out for the year?
I don't know. I'm writing it down and I will check.
Okay,
So
perfect.
you're looking for the list of the PD that they're doing?
Yeah,
Around-
because they typically offer like training to the community, right, on various topics. So I just wanted to see if we could get a sense of what those are. So we're
Okay.
not, we can absolutely supplement, but maybe not coincide, right?
Okay,
And also timing as well.
all right, I will ask.
Maybe over the
Thank
next
you.
month, we should just all think about the topics, reach out to anybody we know that might be be a good resource for us. And then maybe next month we can decide, and we can decide if we want to do one or two.
I like that a lot. I think that would be great. I also think maybe I'll try to reach out to Corey over at the town's Veteran Affairs, because I'm sure that there are opportunities there as well.
Corey, I think, left. He works for the state now, I believe.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
so they should be in the process of getting a new veterans coordinator. So just want to
Okay.
throw that out there. I'm sure
Thanks,
he'd
Kelly.
still try, I'm sure he'd still help. He lives in Easton and, you know, I'm sure he'd still help. Check with him.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that. Okay, awesome. So it sounds like some good ideas are brewing. Let's try to plan for a November topic focus, and then we can figure out our plan on when to.
I just
From
want to say,
there.
you know, there's a gentleman who runs up and down Main Street, waving his flags, and sometimes it scares people. And he is a very gentle person, but it would be, I think it would be nice as a community for us to be able to sort of talk about understanding that kind of thing. That's why I hope we get there.
Absolutely. All right, we have some good opportunities here. I'm excited about what we come up with, and I'm not. I do think more than one training event would be great if we can pull it off. So okay. Treasure update, Kathy.
Yeah, well, I didn't actually, I reached out to the accounting department. I didn't hear back, but I believe we raised $160 at the NRT fair. So we should be around $5,000. Amy still needs to submit her receipts, but even then we would be close to 4,000. So that we have a goodly amount, and we can always go back to the town if we need more.
Okay, perfect. Amy, I know you've been busy, but
I'm on it.
we need to get.
I promise I've started. Yeah, I'll do it ASAP.
Okay. I mean, Emma needs new shoes or something by now, don't you, Emma? Okay. All right, perfect. Thank you, Kathy. I don't think there's anything else we need to do there from a treasury standpoint. Okay. So website update. I think in light of the deadly terrorist attack on Israel, I do think that our Human Rights Committee should consider putting out a statement in support of our town members and community members who have been impacted by those horrific events. You know, we haven't put out a statement in a long time about topics, because we said that, you know, our criteria for putting out statements, you know, because there's unfortunately so many different types of social events that happen or events that occur, that we want to make sure that they're meaningful when we do put out a statement, and that they impact members of our community directly. And in this case, I do think that it does. And the other thing that we have said about putting out statements is that we don't want them to just be standalone statements, but that we want to provide some sort of education opportunity or link to additional information, or you know, anything that we can do to better have people better understand the severity of a situation or how to maybe handle that. I actually just saw the communication that came out from Dr. Cabral and our superintendent's office, and I think that is exactly what they did, right? They kind of acknowledged the tragedies that have been occurring, and at the same time tried to provide some resources, particularly for our children, in the sense of being able to kind of talk through some pretty difficult topics that have been going on in the news. So, I mean, I wanted to put that out there to the committee, see if they, if anybody has any strong opinions about whether or not we should or should not put out a statement, and then assess, who might be best to move that forward. So first, any concerns with putting out a statement, or any support for putting out a statement for that matter?
I think
I
it's a
think
great,
we should put one out.
Great idea.
Okay. All right. So we're definitely going to put out a statement. I think this is also another criteria is timeliness. And that's why I think it worked out that our meeting was tonight, because we would like to probably move on this sooner than later. So, we can form a subcommittee to try to write this out. If, I recognize folks are really busy, but if anybody has a really strong, opinion around it and focus around it, please let me know. Otherwise, I think I'll just take this and maybe work offline with Beth to pull together a statement on behalf of the HRC. But I would need you guys to vote to allow and kind of give us that go ahead to put it out.
I think that's great. I move that you guys develop a statement.
second.
Okay, well, Chan, yes, or
Devonshire, yes.
Durant, yes.
Foster, yes.
Gershman, yes.
Gershman, yes.
Okay, yes.
thank you.
So Karen, I think
So,
in addition to posting on our website, I want to send it out directly to all our allies. I think whenever we do a statement, we should send it out specifically to our allies.
no, I think that's a great idea. So Beth and I will work on this. Maybe not tonight, because she has a brand new puppy, but maybe Beth, I'll try and draft something over to you so that we can get this started. And then ideally we're posting by, I would say, tomorrow, but no later than Thursday. That sound good?
That works. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. So Amy, I've never posted since you gave me the training. I know that sounds pointed to me.
I'm
but
around. If you and Beth are, taking the lead on drafting it, I'm more than happy to help.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. So we'll get it to you no later than Thursday. This will be the plan. All right. Thank you. Okay. Yeah.
You didn't mention our summer. Are we going to do the Pride again?
Yeah, I did not mention summer events. But wow, yeah. Is it almost Pride time again?
Well,
yeah, we probably. Yeah, I mean, yeah, please. Well, I think we probably need to talk through the interest in kind of moving that forward. I know when we wrapped up last year, we had discussed maybe, looking at another venue potentially as well. I also think, we continue to have lessons learned from previous years, but the sooner we commit, I think probably your point, Kathy, to a date and an event, the better it will be executed, because we have that ability to plan ahead and really start to move forward with it. So I guess is the committee interested in hosting another Pride event in June of 2024?
Let's do it.
I am.
Here. Yeah, I'm interested. Okay, go. She'll be right back. Her computer died, whatever. I'm definitely interested. I haven't talked to Jen Cummings about to hear if she got any feedback from the board. But I'll reach out to her. And Karen, I'll copy you, because I know we would, or maybe Beth, or both of you, just to initiate that conversation so that there's an opportunity to mitigate any concerns they have.
Okay, that sounds good. Thanks, Kathy, for bringing that up. So we'll plan for a June Pride event 2024. So I'll begin to add that to our agenda going forward, and then we can start to create that subcommittee and start to move that. Perfect. Thank you. Sorry, so jumping back to website, anything else website update wise that we need to be thinking about? I know and actually maybe it might be good because our next meeting, Carol plans to join the new diversity, equity, inclusion, accessibility coordinator for the town. So I think that would be great to hear them around, topics of interest. And I know that Easton Public Schools just recently refreshed their website as well. So maybe thinking about what additional resources we should consider having available through our website. And speaking of that, Amy, maybe while you're putting the update for our public statement around Israel, we may want to go ahead. I received a good resource from an Easton parent around an LGBTQ plus, I believe, a resource that Beth vetted that looks like it would be great to share with our community. So I'll make sure to get that over to you as well. Okay. But yeah, I think as people still have opportunities, I think, we want to try to increase traffic to our website at the same time. Recognize that, we want to make sure we thoroughly vet any resources brought forward to us as well. So that's kind of the balance that we have in play today. But anything else kind of come to mind from a website update standpoint?
The only other thing I would love to, if anyone has ideas about how to, right now we still have, you go to the HRC page and the first thing you see is the proclamation. And I don't know if that was the RMK proclamation, which is great. And I want to have it there, but it's the first thing you see before you even see our mission or anything. And I'm wondering, I think somebody from the town put it there. Again, which is fine, but I wonder if there's a more strategic place to put it, so that our mission is actually the first thing that people see.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, it's confusing because it's there before the rest of it. So I think we just need to reorganize.
I think Liz worked closely with RMK on the proclamation, as it was drafted, and I asked her for some contextual content to put around it. What is this? Why did we do it? I don't think we ever had it really. Might be something to think about in the future. I don't even know, I know some of the backstory as far as our involvement goes, but I don't have any language to you that I would be comfortable using.
Yeah, and maybe what I can do, Amy, is just look into how RMK shares proclamation as well, and then we can kind of think about a shared language around that, considering it was okay. I can look into that piece of it. So, and then from there we can maybe move it to a subfolder. I think is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, it could even have its own page, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Any other website topics? Did I forget to put open items on the agenda? It looks like we don't have many open items, but the other thing, which maybe since we were talking about RMK, is Kathy, do you want to share the gala details based on the flyer?
On Saturday, October 21st, I believe it is. Is that right? No, I'm not sure of the date. Sorry.
It's the 21st.
Okay, okay, on October 21st at Thorny Lee Golf Course, they're doing their masquerade ball. And on our, I sent out in the to the allies the information. I can look it up more here. I don't have
Sorry,
it.
you know what? I must have information on it as well. So,
Here I have it.
so
Yep.
Denise Lane sent me information around the gala. She asked that we share it with our allies, which Kathy did, and they are selling tickets for the event. They are really hoping to get as much participation as possible. There will be 2 people honored at the event. Tickets are $75 each, and they're really hoping to get as much participation as possible. They have asked for HRC sponsorship, so I did want to bring that to the committee for consideration. There are different tiers of sponsorship. I know that, you know, we're not really like a funded entity or anything like that. But I don't know what folks' thoughts were around potential sponsorship of the event.
I would love to sponsor them. Do you think that there's any, it might be a question for Craig, but is there any issue with us using like the town's money to give to a nonprofit? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Right, I'm not sure we're allowed to do that. I guess we need somebody to
Yeah.
tell.
I would love to give to RMK. I personally give to RMK, but I think we should ask first if it's even a thing we can do.
Okay, so let's say we can. It looks like they have a silver, gold, platinum, diamond sponsorship level that ranges from 500 to 5,000, or, you know, anything that you'd want to give, basically. Let's say that we can. What would we want to give? So this way, I guess we almost have to vote on it and then determine if we can do it. So, because we're not going to have another meeting before the event.
I'm cognizant of our budget, and I think we can be supportive, but at the lowest level possible as far as financially, if we're allowed to do it.
I agree.
Or would people be interested in attending? So, you know, it's $75 a ticket. We could purchase 2 tickets on behalf of the HRC with our budget, and 2 people can attend. So it would be, instead of sponsorship, it's still support of the event and representation of HRC with RMK. I could ask Craig about that. You know, I just wanted to put out another option there as well. So sponsorship, ticket purchase, somehow supporting the event.
I agree
feel
with
like
if we can do the 500, I think that would be a good idea.
And
Can I
if
just
not,
ask something though? If we're giving 500, and I'm not against it, I'm just playing devil's advocate. And then, so we give 500 out of our budget, and then we find out we have to go back to the town for money for something.
right.
The optics of that. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I'm nervous that we would get some negative response.
But I think even buying tickets could be the same thing.
Yeah, I think if we buy tickets, it's going to be out of our own pocket.
I think, yeah, you would have to check, because there's also like a gift limit, at least I think it's for all public servants, and it's like under $50. So a $75 ticket might be considered a gift if you're sending someone. I don't know. It's just something to look into before you do it.
I would
Michelle,
rather,
did you just take that ethics exam? The $50?
I have to take it all the time for various things.
it kind of stinks because I would rather like partner with them on an event or a training and pay for that out of our budget. Do you know what I mean? And so that like both of our organizations were recognized, but we were also like giving something back for them. I don't know.
I agree with that, Amy.
Me too, Amy. I think that's a good response. I think, Karen, is to say, you know, we may not be able, because we're a town committee, it's not easy for us to give you money, but we would be interested in partnering with you on some kind of training over the spring, and maybe one of those topics that we talked about they're interested in.
And it doesn't even have to be the training. It could be anything. It could be something that they already have on their to-do list or already have people who are willing to help plan or facilitate, and we can like contribute to that and be a part of it. Like even if they have like speakers or even the wonderful book baskets that they do or anything that we could give money to, that's something that like a tangible thing that we're giving back, you know, to the community.
Yeah, as opposed to a fundraiser. I think that's different.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm getting hung up.
Yeah, I mean, I think that sounds right. I think fundraising, HRC participation in fundraising would likely meet some pretty significant barriers. And I also think then beyond optics, it's, you know, why RMK and not, you know, how do we assess going forward what we would sponsor, what we wouldn't sponsor? I mean, I guess that also becomes a bit complex, because there are many great organizations that do a lot of really good work. And so what would we use to evaluate and then decide? So, and also the money that we do have was very specific in terms of HRC events and activities, right? Because those were all asked for, whether through formal presentation to the select board on Stonehill money, right? Or various other types of initiatives as well. So I think what I'm hearing from the committee is that we will not be able to sponsor the RMK gala, and that, you know, we do look forward to other partnership opportunities with them in the future. And for those committee members that are interested in attending the gala, it is on October 21st.
Yes.
Kathy, yes.
Yes.
At Lee Golf Course, and we absolutely hope that they get a lot of great attendance and great support from the community. Okay, thank you. Do I have any public participation for the meeting? And if you are interested in speaking, all I need you to do is raise your hand. Okay, I don't think I have any interest in.
Karen, can I throw one more thing in there?
Yeah.
Beth and I got an email from Pastor Polk
Oh,
about the Transgender Day of Remembrance. It's on November 20th at 7 p.m. He wants to know if he can call us a sponsor or maybe partner in it. And I don't know if you've talked to him. I'm just reading the email now, but I don't know if he asked you to speak or anything, Karen or Beth, or.
No, when I responded, I got an out of that he was on leave until the beginning of November.
Okay.
So I don't know. Last year I spoke. So I think if somebody wanted to or kind of continue that, it's a really nice event.
He says, would you be a sponsor of the event, by allowing us to name you as such. I think he just means like a supporter. I don't think he means a
Right.
monetary sponsor. Can we say yes to that and ask if there's anything he needs help with?
Yeah, I think maybe we should vote on that,
Yeah.
just so that we have that solidified. So do we have a motion to support the Transgender Day of Remembrance at the Holy Trinity Church? Is that right?
So
So
moved.
moved. Second, Durant.
And yes?
Devonshire, yes.
Durant, yes.
Foster, yes.
Gershman, yes.
Gershman, yes.
Hey, yes.
Okay, perfect. So mark your calendars. Goodness, November 20th is 1 month and 10 days from now,
So-
or less.
So Beth, can you have him send you and you forward me if they have a flyer or any information, I can send that out to our allies?
Yeah, I'll reach back out. Sometimes I don't know if it's an admin or whomever, there might be that, so I'll ask them to send it along.
Thank you.
Okay, excellent. So I messed us up on this meeting, but the next meeting for our committee will be Tuesday, November 7th at 6:30 p.m. Hoping that works for everyone and that I get the agenda out on time. November 7th, Tuesday.
I'll make sure
6:30.
Carol's has the link.
Perfect. Okay, any other topics that we didn't get a chance to cover? All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
And yes?
Devonshire, yes.
Before I say yes, I just want to make sure you see Kevin's comments, Karen, before you close out the meeting.
I cannot see them.
All right, I'll take a screenshot. It's just, he doesn't want to speak. He's just passing along information. Durant, yes?
Okay.
Sorry, I just looked at Beth's comment.
Oh, you
Uh,
see it? Okay.
I
Foster,
can't see the, so,
Yeah, I can't see Kevin's comments. Anyway,
It's in the Q&A, not in the actual comment section.
oh, thanks, Em.
He wasn't able to get in the comment box.
Awesome. Are we, Kathy, did you vote? Did you?
yes.
we're voting to adjourn. Focus team.
Oh,
Foster, yes.
Gershman, yes.
Gershman, yes.
Hey, yes.
We did it.
We did it.
Sorry, I threw you
Seven-
for a loop.
And adjourn our meeting today. Thank you, everyone, for
Bye,
joining.
guys.
Great. Thank you.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.